Hi, welcome to the first ever Florida Tech Coaches Show. My name is Daniel Supraner, and I'll be your host today. Our coaches today are Robin Champ from the men's soccer team and Jessica Monarch from the women's soccer team. Coach, thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
All right, so let's get right into it. The team is off to a great start this season. They started 4-0 and are now 6-2, with both those losses coming by one goal to great teams in conference play. How do you see the team doing so far?
Yeah, we're very positive with the start. We've got a lot of new faces in the squad, so this early phase of the season we find a lot out about ourselves, and I think we've obviously had a few good results to start the season off, so got some good momentum going. And these last couple of games that we've lost in conference have been close ones, but at the same time we've learned a lot about ourselves, and hopefully we've made bigger strides from those results, even more strides in those results than the ones earlier in the season where we picked up the wins.
Okay. How do you keep the momentum going through this tough SSE stretch?
Yeah, I mean, there's, I think, 7 out of the 11 teams have been ranked in the top 25 at some point this year, so it's a very challenging schedule once we hit this point. But we feel very good about the squad. We've started to look within the squad. We've got a lot of competition for places, and so getting some new energy on the field is where we're at right now, and just kind of recognizing the close decisions within players and who we bring into the field. So I think we've got, we're in a good place right now. We're very happy with things.
Talking more about decisions about some of the players you're playing in certain games, because of some of the hard-fought and physical contests you had during the season, you had some players who were drawing in a lot of cards and had to sit out a couple of games.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that issue?
I mean, that's something that every team will face.
Okay.
And the teams that are able to sustain those times where they have to go into the depth within the squad, those are the teams that are going to be successful at the end. And it can be for suspensions, it could be for injuries, it could be for tiredness. So we're the same as every other team in the conference, and it is a challenging conference, like I said, and again we feel like we've got good depth in this squad to be able to sustain a lot of those periods, and and this period right now is no different to that.
Okay, great. Now you're in your 14th season, so you've been here for a while. Our other guest that's coming on, Jessica Monarch, is our women's soccer coach. She's going to be in her first season, recently named the head coach of the program. Do you have any advice for her, any words of wisdom on how to be successful not only in Florida Tech, but in the really tough Sunshine State Conference?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity for Jess. I think she's very familiar with the program. She's been with the program for 3-4 years now, so she knows the players, she knows the organization, she knows the ins and outs of the program as it is. I think it's just down to Jess to decide how she wants to put her spin on the team and how they play, and maybe a style of play. But it's just going to be little tweaks that she's going to need to make. Dustin got the program into a good place, and prior to Dustin taking over, Fiji had obviously done a lot to get the program to where it was. So I think it's a similar scenario for Jess now. She's stepping in, she's been with the program, and now it's just putting her little spin on things.
Well said, Coach. I want to thank you for being on our first ever show. Good luck today as the men's soccer team takes on Florida Southern in Lakeland. That game begins at 7 p.m. You can watch that game on the Florida Tech Sports Network, and there are links to live coverage on FloridaTechSports.com, the official online home of Florida Tech Athletics. Again, thank you so much, Robin. And our next guest will be on just in a sec, and that is Jessica Monarch, the head coach for the women's soccer program. Up next, we have our women's soccer head coach, Jessica Monarch. Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having head coach in front of your name is very new. You were just promoted to head coach just in the last couple of weeks. How's that feel?
Good. Honestly, I've always, thought that I've, been in a position where I can add value to the program, no matter, what that looks like. And so now I'm just shifting that into a little bit of a different role and different responsibilities, but I'm still very grateful to be giving 100% to this program.
Great. How has your roles changed? I guess in the first couple of weeks, does it really change a lot during the season? Do you get much chance to really jump into the head coaching roles?
Yeah, absolutely. Just taking, as much as I can each day to try to learn and make sure the girls are prepared for what they need to tackle the season. And every year we focus on the process, and we focus on what it takes day in and day out to achieve our goals at the end of the season. So the same goes for me now as a head coach, taking that one day at a time.
Okay, and I'm going to guess you guys are going to run the same system. It's been successful in the past. It's been successful this year. recently you guys just came off a 3-0 victory over St. Leo. Why don't you talk about that game and what the team really showed in that win?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the team showed a lot of resilience in that game. They were committed to the game plan, they were committed to the process of that game, and they knew it was going to take all 90 minutes to defeat St. Leo, just like every other conference game that we have. It's going to take the whole game, and it's going to take each player buying in, and they were committed to it, and they went through the momentum shifts of the game, and they stayed committed to the process and the plan, and came out on top.
Okay, and now heading into tonight's matchup with Florida Southern. It's a home game at 7 p.m. at Richard Field. How's the team looking, and what's your focus going into a tough conference match like this one?
The focus is the same, just like any other conference matchup. The girls are prepared, they've worked hard in training, and they know that each game is tough to take 3 points away, but they understand that their focus is exactly on this game and not on any games ahead of them, and so they're focused on each of the details and executing on both sides of the ball for all 90 minutes.
Okay, and then let's talk about some of your key players. You've had some players really shine this year. To name a few: Maria Munoz, Kiera McCarthy, Elizabeth Stoffel, and others. Talk about their play and what they've really meant to this team this year.
Yeah, each of those girls that you just named, McCarthy, Munoz, Stoffel, they've all done a good job of leading the attack and being creative in that attack, and so we're thankful that they've stepped up. Taylor Eller has done a great job of leading and anchoring our midfield, so we're thankful for the gritty job that she does. And then I would also say Kiana Zana in the back has really stepped up to be an anchor for us in our back line and leading back there and kind of also making sure that we're secure in what it takes to get 3-0 victories.
Absolutely. All right, well, Coach, thank you for joining us. And you guys can catch the women's soccer team tonight at Rick Stowler Field. The game begins at 7 p.m. and they take on Florida Southern. If you can't make it to the game, you can get all the links to live coverage on FloridaTechSports.com, the official online home of Florida Tech Athletics, and on the Florida Tech Sports Network. All right, Coach, well, thank you so much, and good luck tonight against the Moms.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for our first ever Florida Tech Coaches Show. I'd like to send my gratitude to our men's and women's soccer coaches, Robin Chan and Jessica Monarch, for joining us today. Next time, we'll be meeting with our volleyball coach, Amy O'Brien, and cross-country coach, Pete Mazzone. But until then, this is Daniel Supraner with Florida Tech Athletics. Go Panthers!